What's up, y'all? It's your girl S Food.
Chaplain Harder.
It's your girl Latia.
This is DJ Nugget. Hotline.
This is Jasmine Ford.
King Nesbitt.
Trap Wake Kizzle.
Slancito.
Girl Tosh.
Rough Bone.
The Jeweler.
Ludi Boy. Yo, what up? It's your boy Wiz Khalifa, man. And I just kicked it right here. Smoked real big with the Burgh Boys.
First of all, let me introduce our featured guest today. Our featured guest is the only DJ Big Phill. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Till we get some fire in this bitch.
Fire, bitch. Give me some fire. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for coming, man.
It's actually an honor to be here.
And we've been trying to get this set up for a while, as you explained on Instagram. Thanks. We have been trying to set this up for a while, but
it's partially my fault as well. But you know, the life of DJ life, when you working. And I do apologize for canceling a couple of times. And,
it's okay.
It's okay, brother.
Because we ended up actually being able to fill it quickly just because of how, you know how it goes. People are always trying to get in and get on, but it's like we'd rather have you on than several other people that, we don't.
I'm going to use that as a drop. We'd rather have you on than everybody else.
Yeah, right? No, we definitely. It's the truth. No.
For sure.
And we actually haven't had a DJ on in quite some time, too, so it's been one of those things to where we've wanted somebody.
To your resume, like, you've been DJing for how long now?
Man, I've been DJing since I was about 15, before most of y'all were born. Yeah. Probably dated some of y'all moms back in the day. Just keep it. I'm just messing with y'all. How old are you again? So, no, I'm just fucking with you.
I was born in 83.
Yeah. So
he banged my mom. I was 89.
No, but I've been you know what, in all honesty, man, I came up, I'm a little bit older than y'all. So, I remember when hip hop wasn't on TV, when it wasn't on the radio, when it wasn't, and it was just, when I was coming up, you either breakdance, you DJ, you did graffiti, or you rhymed. My stepfather was in a band. My mom and dad had records all over the place. So it was just, music and shit was just always around the crib. You know what I mean? So I just gravitated towards it.
So did you have to, I guess it was easy for you to find like some of the music you liked because it was in your home. Did you gravitate to other music?
Well, I think for me it was different because, my stepfather did reggae, calypso, and jazz. So when hip-hop started using all the different samples, I was blessed that where all the other parents was like, man, turn that Beastie Boys shit off or turn that off.
No, right. Absolutely.
I don't hear that Cool G rap garbage. My dad would say, my step-pops would say stuff like, oh, that's James Brown.
Right.
That's Roy Ayers. That's whatever. So I was learning both sides of it early.
Right.
So like for Christmas, I asked for a drum machine. I got a drum machine for Christmas. And then I asked for turntables. I got like this raggedy turntable that had like the turntable and the cassette. And I was using the volume as a mixer because I didn't know any better.
Right.
But where I grew up in Penn Hills, we had the dopest DJs in the city. I walk up a block, DJ Assassin lived around the corner.
Yeah.
DJ Super C lived up around the corner. My man TK, the first person I knew ever put records out. In high school, I had friends that was putting out vinyl. It was crazy. You know what I mean?
That's wild.
It was just a surreal time, but it was just something we all did, So I just got a love for the music and keep doing it.
Now you've seen, so you've been around a while. You've seen like the DJ equipment change.
Right. I still use Technics 1200s.
So you do not touch the digital boards at all?
I don't. I got an S9 mixer now. But I can, but I just don't.
Prefer not to.
Well, you know what it is for the fact that I use, it's like I look at a drummer. You still got to use drums.
Right.
Some drummers I don't have an issue with people using CDJs and using, the, digital formats. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the crowd that you're there, the crowd that's there.
Yeah.
If they're like, oh, he's killing it, that's all that counts.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not a snob in that sense.
Right.
But at the same time,
your preference.
It's my preference, and I would say, hey, y'all getting busy, y'all doing y'all thing.
Yeah.
But
when
we put that needle on the record, it's a totally different situation. Not just, it is what it is. But I got to respect those, because there's cats out here killing. There's cats who ain't even using, I don't know what the hell they using, some of this EDM stuff, and it's just juice. They just pressing knobs and it's going, and the crowd goes crazy.
Yep.
I can't sit back and hate on that. I mean, he's just making hella money. And
they're making a lot of money.
They're making a lot of money.
And I feel like they're more so producers than DJs. But a lot of them
some of that's producing on the fly. Some of that's like remixing on the fly. Because it's
But like a lot of them play their own music.
For sure.
So it's different than a DJ too. Because like a DJ, obviously, DJs are starting to have their own music now with compilations and stuff like that.
So in the beginning, the DJs were also the producers. So I come from that background also, because I produce and I do records for people and whatever. I don't make a big hoopla about it because people don't want to pay. I'm too old to not. I got kids in college and stuff like that. I can't be, man, I love doing this, man. Let me do this for free. Man, that light bill ain't for free, player. You know what I mean? But unless it's somebody that I think is dope. But I think, like, in today, you have to do everything. You have to be able, especially, the one thing I'll say, it's harder to be a DJ than it is to be an MC. I know that sounds crazy, because MCs just come in there with their pen, their pay. They ain't got to spend don't have to spend no money. As a DJ, especially back in the day, you had to go buy your records, you got to buy your turntables, you got to buy your all your equipment, your this, your that. A lot of times MCs show up and they leave. Meanwhile, as a DJ, you're there before anybody get there, and you're the last person out. Yep. So it's just a totally different thing. I mean, respect both, but it's a totally different situation.
I was going to talk about your producer side of it, how you were just saying that you do work with a few people. Like, is there anything that you're working on currently? Or
I'm sitting on like about 100 records, like every other producer does, and that's something. But I have to get out of that.
Right.
That's the old. I'm gonna wait until it's ready. Like 8 years later. Oh man, I just gotta tweak this one more time. That's whack. Like I gotta, you have to get out of that. But I've done, I'll come up when, before any of this was here, when Dan and them were doing their thing, but with Strict Flow, and we had Strict Flow, Rook and Bishop, and so many other artists at a particular point in time. And just, I love producing as much as I love DJing. I do think that Pittsburgh has some of the greatest producers, honestly, on the planet. I will put Pittsburgh producers up against almost anybody.
I would agree.
And DJs. Real talk. And
we
DJs.
got some nice DJs here.
We do have some super
and some really good producers.
We have exceptional producers.
Dude, our producer list is fucking insane.
Insane.
The credits,
but I'm saying
have,
like even just upcoming. Like there's a lot of young hot guys and even females
for sure
that are coming out of Pittsburgh. But what I was going to ask you too is like music wise, you said you're sitting on a lot of records. Do you plan on like putting all of that out?
I'm definitely. I mean,
maybe a tape or just like singles.
So I have a project that I'm working on right now. I'm about to work on a all vinyl project.
Dope.
I'm gonna do like a quarterly vinyl project.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm about to put out. I sent y'all a song earlier. If y'all want to play it, the joint was sitting on this girl named Sahar. We did like a whole album like years ago, and it's crazy. Like it's a dope album. Like if I played that record, people would be like, "Oh man, why isn't that?" But it's just the stubbornness, and sometimes life gets in the way. So life gets in the way, and you can't get to it like you want to. I've done scratches on people's albums. Like Diamond D came into Pittsburgh years ago, called me, was like, "Yo, you need to come down here and put some cuts on the record." And Diamond D's produced like he was on Fuji's album, he was on Fat Joe's album, he was, he's one of the greatest producers ever. Like his new album has like everybody from like Snoop to Smith and Wesson is on his new album. But I was on the last one. I did cuts and I helped put the chords together, and it's him and and High Tech from Quality and High Tech, and I did that.
You got some
some
deep Pittsburgh hip hop roots
for sure.
Just musically,
I did the first. I'm glad it's funny you said. I did the first hip hop documentary symposium in Pittsburgh years ago at the Warhol, and I have footage with everybody. Like I'm talking on the road with everybody. Me and Chad Glick, me and Masai wrestling at Penn State. And Chad Glick like looking like, what are y'all doing? Like, what's going on? And, it's just it's crazy footage,
That's
footage.
What's up,
and
man.
I think a lot of people don't understand. And I could talk about this all day because I think a lot of times we forget about it. that a lot of these cats who were so behind the scenes was in front of the scenes. And you would go see a local show, no internet, no nothing, and the shows would just be packed.
Yep.
And it's crazy. So, like, to see where everything's at now, is to me, is dope. I'm not one of them people that's like, oh, man, it's not. No, I think it's dope to see the progression.
Yeah.
I think it's dope.
And I wanted to ask you about that, too, because this is a two-part question. I'll ask you about the artist part and then the DJ part. So, as far as the DJ, you spoke about, like, you know, DJs being able to use the techniques. Now, do you have that feeling of, like, this ain't a real DJ if he don't do X, Y, Z?
So I think it all depends on what it is. I think if you can rock a party, you can rock a party. Real talk. But I will say, once you bring the tables out, DJs who don't rock on tables will sit back and they'll show like a little bit of, there's a respect and a reverence there. Cause they're like, oh man, this is dope. You know, they'll sit back and watch whatever. But I'm also one of those, I'll sit back and I'll watch a person who doesn't use turntables and I'll sit back and say, okay, I like the way he did that transition. I like the way he did that. A lot of cats who are on there can be really good vocally also. That's a whole nother skill. Like, I don't talk a lot behind the tables, you know. But then I could be a jerk and be like, let my hands talk for me or something corny like that. That's some shit I would have said 10 years ago. But I don't know. I don't mind it. I think it's dope. Just as long as you're not whack. That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this. When you walk in a building and certain DJs when they see certain DJs walk in a building, their whole demeanor changes. It changes. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, now I got it. You know. No, hey, don't stop what you're doing.
True.
Don't change up because I don't walked in. No, keep doing. You know, we're here to see you, and that's real.
No, that's absolutely
real.
That's a
don't change the recipe because I walked in the building.
I've seen that happen several times.
All the time.
That goes for MCs in the city too.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
I'll be DJing an event,
right,
and then like someone will walk in and like you can see them walk in, and whoever's on stage rapping is a local cat, you know, and he gets
shook.
All of a sudden he's shook because
right.
he sees so and so walk in the
right.
back door. You know what I mean? It's like,
but it's also a show of respect too.
It is.
It puts
really
you
is.
in your place. And
It
I did something with, I don't know if Spillz remember, we did something a long time ago, and
we've done several.
And I remember I saw when Spillz' energy was dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate that, man.
So I sat back and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm one of, I DJ, I sit back and I watch. Like, I'm not one of them people who, you get too many entertainers now, too many individuals will sit back, go to a show, and they won't watch the next person perform.
Right.
True.
That is really a whack Pittsburgh situation.
I don't understand that either.
I don't understand that either. We've always, like, even from when I first started doing all this shit with, like, Fran and the Come Up Boys and Palermo, Stone, and all that shit.
Franchise.
Yeah. Franchise. Yeah.
So dope.
Unreal.
Super dope.
Unreal.
Unreal.
Yep.
And I always give them an invite to a lot of, if I do something big, I invite them to come. Even if they don't have like nobody rapping, a lot of times they'll be like, Frank, can you come through?
Yeah.
I want you to do like 2 joints and just go.
Max. Just even come and enjoy yourself. Because he's like dope. That too. Yeah.
He's nice. He's nice. He's one of
so
my favorites.
Good. Yeah, absolutely.
And with you being OG, I can call you that, right?
Yeah, he is.
You like a triple. You like a triple OG.
Yeah. I'll take that. I earned these grades.
Cause you've been around for a minute, but
yes,
real talk. With you being a OG, like, are there any artists or even young DJs that you've been mentoring or that ask you for advice?
A lot of people come up and ask me for advice, but a lot of times I sit back and I just observe and I watch, and I like a lot of new music. Like Mars Jackson.
Dope.
Super dope.
But you know what? The
Unreal.
2 people that you just named also are dope people. Like, it's not just about them being artists either. So it makes
a difference.
It does make a difference.
It makes a difference. Like, I'll sit back and I learn. You have to separate. Sometimes you'll get your feelings hurt when you feel as if, you meet somebody and you kick it and then they get like real funny afterwards. Like, I'm not. I'm an adult. So I don't have time to play with people, this is
all that. Yeah,
this is work. I know what I need to be doing. I know what you need to be doing. But at the same time, it's all about. I tell people all the time, it's about building relationships.
Yeah.
I did an event with homegirl Elizabeth, and we're getting ready to do a production event coming up. I'm gonna give you all. I'm gonna pull plugs on everything.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Union, Brillo Box every fourth Saturday. Me, Black Steel, Selector, dopest party in the city. We always tear it down. But I feel like it's all about creating relationships. I think DJs do that better than MCs do. Honestly,
Agreed.
Even if I may not feel DJs really dope, I'll sit back, but that was dope how you did that. Yo, but you should do this the next time. Okay, cool. But then at the same time, like, we'll share gigs. I'll be like, oh, I can't do this gig. Let me let my man get it. I feel like a lot of MCs, they feel like they're constantly in competition with each other, so they don't want to give each other, that particular light. And that's something that needs to change.
Do you think DJs get enough respect?
It depends. I think it depends on what it is. I mean, I think every art, let's take Wiz. One reason why I give Wiz so much respect is that he's always had a DJ. He's always had Bonix. And Bonix is nice.
Bonix is nice.
Bonix is nice for real.
But we used to, I'll tell you a fun fact, we were fans of Bonix just like, everybody else. Like, we've been to shows with fun, all types of festivals and stuff.
I remember when Bonix used to rhyme.
Right. No, yeah.
I didn't meet Bonix when he rhymed, but I did see some old videos.
Yeah, dude. He definitely rhymed, bro.
Yeah,
he rhymed.
He
He rhymed down at the University of Pittsburgh at one of their fucking events, dude. That shit was like epic.
Bonix came up. Bonix was he was a younger DJ cat that was always around. The one thing I give to him is that I always felt like he's probably in my top 5 or 10 DJ list overall.
I would give him that,
and that's
too.
crazy. He's in my top, just based on, I've never seen, I've said this to him before, and I'm not just blowing smoke, like, I'm being honest. I feel like he's probably the hardest working DJ there is.
Yeah.
I've never seen a DJ who, Wiz goes on tour constantly. I've never seen him, like, not off tour more than 2 days. Let's keep
That's
it funky.
10 straight years of doing that with him.
So, and then he'll also get up and do his radio show.
On the road.
On the road.
Right. Wow.
And that doesn't even count after parties.
Right.
And different events and
Right.
doing shit at the ball. That shit he did at the ballpark was
A
unbelievable.
national anthem.
And
who DJs a fucking national
Come on,
anthem
man.
with a
He's a traveler, so he likes to adventure too. So like
He's
Bonix
dope.
is not the guy that's gonna stay on a fucking bus. He's gonna
sure.
get up. He's gonna go see where we're at. He's gonna take pictures and meet people and stuff.
Yeah.
So Bonix is a great. I would put him in the top 10 for sure.
And I'll say, and I say this every time I get a chance, when I had a fire years ago, lost everything. He was one of the first people to call me. Make sure I was good. He's like, I heard about the fire, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Him and E. And Chad. So, like, the crew's always been there, but I don't even remember what the original question is.
I was just asking.
I don't
do you think
smoke.
DJs
There's like
get a-
all this weed smoking here right now.
I'm
So I
sorry.
was like, I said,
Yeah.
I was asking, do you think DJs get enough respect?
I think it all depends. It depends on the venue. I mean, you could go to certain spaces and all they want is the jukebox. So it doesn't matter what you do. So you're wasting your time. So I think I'm the type of person, I will turn down a gig if it's not a gig for me. I will turn down a gig if there's not enough money. I've taken gigs that weren't enough money, but they worked for me. So it just all depends. Does that make any sense?
That makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
But I do believe every MC should have their own DJ. I come from that school. I think it just makes a difference from the live shows, from just, they don't have to be on the record. They don't have to do whatever. But I feel like every MC should have a DJ. It just makes a difference. There's something about that back and forth between the DJ. Like, I hate going
And
to
the
shows.
connection, and you can like drop
Right.
the beat, and
They know where to go.
Yes, bro.
They
Like
know where
it's
to go.
just like they continue rapping over the drop, and then you bring it back,
Right.
and like
It's real.
Yeah, bro.
I
Like,
hate going to events. They're like, hey, Phil, can you spin for me? Usually I say, no, I'm not doing that. Because if you turn around and say, hey, man, play track 3, I'm walking away. I hate that.
dude, I just deal with it now.
They're like,
Because
oh, man, stop. Yo, bring that.
to be honest,
No, number 2. What?
I literally just like I take complete control now,
Right.
just because of having to deal with it for so long.
I believe
Like,
it.
you know what I mean? Like, because
Right.
there's so many events to where it's like I'm going there to DJ for one person and one person only, and then all of a sudden
You done DJ for
I'm
everybody.
DJing for everyone, and it happens
all the time.
For the past fucking 10 years. It's like, dude. It's fucking insane.
I'll do those events. Like, Phil, can you DJ this event? All right, cool. We got a couple rappers. All right. I'm not thinking I'm DJing for them.
Right.
Then they're like, hey, yo, man, can you play?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, shit. Here's my flash.
Can you put my USB in real quick?
Oh, shit.
All my USBs are being used right now.
Do you know how many fucking USBs?
The worst?
I got stacks of them at the house.
Oh, me too.
So
dog.
I'm a new DJ. I just started DJing like 4 years ago.
Okay.
And, it's digital.
Right.
But I've had a lot of people ask me like, yo, can I bring my CD?
My CD.
I'm like, yo, my MacBook don't got no
Right.
CD
Right.
in it, bro.
Or at least send me the tracks beforehand.
Yeah.
True.
I also don't like man, see, y'all got me back on the old man get off the yard. I don't like when cats rap over their vocals. I think that is so whack.
Oh, it
See,
happens
but
all
there's
the
a
time.
lot of
now.
people
So
that
whack.
don't. It's an art to that. There's a lot of people that don't take that.
The show track.
Yeah,
The show
no,
track is clutch.
It's fine to have some backup points in there.
That's
like,
what-
a couple ad libs.
that's-
Or instead of having an ad lib, maybe you have a DJ that you DJ with, and
The
he does the
ad-lib,
ad libs with
true.
you.
Yeah.
Or you have your boy with you, but MCs. So
I feel like they're kind of like
No, you're
deleting that
good.
element.
This
bro,
is
because
exactly
not
what-
enough people have it,
All right, so look,
or
exactly.
they don't think it's important until they get to a certain
But
point.
you should always start. I mean, because I know.
No.
Back to the old man getting off my yard. When we came up, a lot of times you didn't name yourself.
Right.
Somebody named you.
Yeah.
A lot of times you were because, oh man, nah,
Well, that's how I got spilled.
you're such and such.
Right.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
such and such.
Someone named
and
me,
it,
bro.
and it always made sense, to who it was. But it was, I think, when you have somebody that you DJ with, or somebody that you're close with, or there's something about that camaraderie that you could tell when people work together.
Yeah.
You could tell when people. I think a lot of MCs don't even practice.
Yeah.
They don't even practice their own rhymes. Like, they'll come in, you got 2 songs, and you mean to tell me you can't get through the chorus?
Right.
Man,
And they're like, hold on, cuz, let me go back. Okay, well, maybe you shouldn't have smoked beforehand. Maybe you should, because I feel like sometimes it's important because you never know who's in the building.
watching?
You never know.
And you
yeah.
never know when it's your time to, hey,
Yeah.
I don't,
It could
we're not
be
going to
one
use the
person.
Eminem.
It
I'm
could
just
be
saying the
2
honest.
people. in
That's
there.
real,
Yeah.
though.
No, that's super real,
It
bro.
could be you and the DJ, and that DJ could fuck around and be your ticket. You never
Right.
know. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm going to take, what? I got a couple dates on the road. Man, why don't you come with me? I think you're nice. Or,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just simple stuff,
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just, and I think a lot of times we're so busy, we're caught into. Now, don't get it twisted, because I will say what's dope about now is that with the internet and everything else, it's a whole lot easier to. So at first it was anybody could get on because of whatever, but now it's not like that because there's so many people. Now you have to be dope, in my opinion.
Right.
True.
Like, I feel like what are you doing that's different from everybody else? Like, attention spans are so short. I mean, shit, Instagram videos are a minute.
right,
And a minute seems long now. Like, you be watching
Right.
that minute like, man, if they don't hurry up.
right.
So
If they don't get to the point.
right. People are actually, before you would do like little sizzle reels, they'd be like 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
Now they're a minute.
Yep.
It's like boom. And you get everything in there. And so that the attention span, but I feel like there's something up. I feel like MCs need to get them a DJ. Or, a DJ can have 2 or 3 different MCs. I think it just makes a difference.
I feel like you said, with the DJs, it's a little bit different. But with the artists, there's nobody sitting down like a round table of artists here and being like,
Right.
yo, can we do this? Let's all do this, or you know what I'm saying? So
I think a lot of people just aren't appreciative of where they're at.
Yeah.
Whether I'm DJing here or I'm down south at school or homecoming, I try to play Pittsburgh music,
Yeah.
but I don't play it like, oh, this is a Pittsburgh track. It's like, no, you play it with everything else.
Right.
And I think a lot of this city's weird because to me it's like we have artists who go platinum, multi-platinum
Yeah.
in movies,
Yeah.
fucking Oreo commercials, blah blah blah, and people will still say corny stuff like, "Oh, we're gonna put Pittsburgh on the map." What are you talking about?
right,
You go out of town and people, you mention certain individuals, and it's like, "Oh, this is."
Pittsburgh's
And then I
every-
sit back sometimes, and I think for all of us, we can sometimes take for granted, and I'm getting too deep. Sometimes we take for granted how blessed it is to be in a situation like this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like real talk. Like, y'all were just joking
Yeah.
about the voting on whatever, right? And
Yeah.
then you said, yeah. I vote for Wiz. Then y'all was like, oh yeah, Ty Dolla $ign was on there.
Yeah.
Juicy was on there. Them people that's been in and out this
Yeah.
out this damn building. Like
Yeah.
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
I
I think
understand.
it's like I think sometimes we kind of forget that, and it's just I think people in this city just don't want to give. I don't. It's weird because it goes back to the MC thing. Nobody's a fan. Everybody's an artist.
True.
So we instead of looking at a person doing their thing and like, oh, okay, that's dope.
Right.
They're like, oh man, I'm hating. Whereas with the DJs, go back to the DJs. I'll sit back and I'll see Afterthought in West Jupiter someplace,
Yep.
jumping up in the crowds, going crazy. First thing I do is I hit him up. Man, you was out there killing it.
Right.
There's no hate there.
True.
And
Yep.
I think MCs need to do that a little bit more, and I think that the language will change.
No, absolutely. I feel the same way. He touched on that last week. Motor did, just about that whole same exact topic.
Right.
And it's always been. I think it's always been a problem here in the city.
Right.
Like we have more and more guys doing collaborations, but for the most part, it's still always a problem. You guys make sure you stay tuned.
Yeah.
Make sure you stay
I
tuned.
know that was
Keep
a lot.
locked
I
in.
apologize.
No.
Oh, and shout out to my daughter too, Arnita Thompson. She's probably the dopest model in the city.
Yeah.
Her dad's crazy. Her dad got guns. Her uncle's got guns. So let's not get out of control. But she does her thing on the runway. She's somebody to watch out for. Honestly, this is DJ Big Phill. I'm sitting here right now with the Burgh Boys. Salute.